The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Park Place Lanes here in Windham. Hour number 2 on this Super Bowl Sunday. Candlepin Bowling. You're on Stars and Strikes doubles. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy, and of course, it being week 1 of this current series, we have a brand new series here on doubles as well, and a new event for us here on Stars and Strikes doubles, ladies doubles.
Yes, ladies doubles, and we got a mixture of people. A lot of you recognize a lot of faces, and we got a few new ones too.
All right, let's meet our bowlers. Of course, we'll be introducing the entire ladder in just a few minutes after our first break, but let's introduce the first 2 teams in this 4-week series of ladies doubles here on Stars and Strikes. First of all, our first team, our number 5 seeded team from Woburn, Mass, Lois Queen, and her partner from Andover, Mass, Carol Downey.
Okay, and Louise comes in averaging 111. Her roll-off score was 596. Carol at 116 average and a 590 roll-off score.
And of course, both have been here on the program before, as have their 2 challengers on this particular program. Our number 4 seeded team, who actually ended up tied in the overall roll-off scores. We'll explain how that tie was broken a little bit later on. But our number 4 seeded team, the challengers for today, from Chester, New Hampshire, Judy Whitcher, and her partner from Newport, New Hampshire, JoAnn Vandiver.
Okay, and Judy comes in averaging 113. Her roll-off score 601. And JoAnn comes in with an average of 110. Her roll-off score 585.
All right, doubles prize money still in effect. $800 to the winning team of this 4-week event, and $400 to the runner-up team. That'll be 3 weeks from now in the championship match. But of course, we've got lots of bowling between now and then. We're going to get to it. The first of 3 strings of women's doubles here on Stars and Strikes. We'll do it right after these words. Don't go away. All right, as promised, here is a look at some of the names that we have coming in weeks ahead. Our number 3 seeded team, Debbie Regan and Tony Austin. They'll be here next week to face the winning team from today's match. Lynn Perrin and Kathy Fuller, each making their first appearances here on Stars and Strikes, form our number 2 seeded team. And Janet Pock with Janice McIntyre are the number 1 seeded team with that 1243 combined score. You see down at the bottom the 2 scores, Whitcher and Vandiver and Queen and Downey tied at 1186. As Carol Downey begins our match, we will explain to you how that tie was broken. The pairings are determined, as they are for men's doubles here, by having a roll-off as if it were singles. The bowlers enter singly, not as teams. And then we take the top 10 finishers and pair number 1 with number 10, number 2 with number 9, and so on and so forth. And there's a spare for Carol Downey, who gets a kick from the back that I don't think she was expecting.
Let's see how that last pin went down, the 9 pin. Looked like she went right by it. Yes, just as it went into the pit.
That was a late kick from the back and a 7 fill for Carol. So at any rate, the teams are formed by the scores from 1 through 10 in the final roll-off. 1 is paired with 10, 2 is paired with 9. Then the scores are added together, and that determines those scores that you saw on the ladder page a moment ago on the screen. And these 2 teams ended up tied, and we broke that tie with a 1-string roll-off prior to this show. And the team of Judy Whitcher and JoAnn Vandiver won that roll-off by a score of 121 to 98. So by virtue of that, the team of Whitcher and Vandiver is the number 4 seed, and basically that means they get last at bat, if you will, in this match. So 2 spares by Carol Downey to begin the match, and now JoAnn Vandiver to start it for her team.
What a strange way of settling a tie, bowling.
Well, we were going to have penalty kicks, but we thought it might be tough on the feet with bowling balls. So,
got to hurry with that one. Just gets up there. Converts the 2 and the 8 pins for a spare, so we're perfect. 3 boxes, 3 marks.
JoAnn for her fill,
boy.
and it's a solid 9-drop. She'll shoot at the 5 pin.
Solid is right. Nothing came close to touching that 5 pin, but she really got rid of those other 9 pins in a hurry. Trying to convert the 5 pin, not this time.
That time she did stay out to the left. All 4 of these ladies have been here on Stars and Strikes previously. And now Carol Downey's partner, Lois Queen. Now Lois will be filling that mark left over by Carol. Just missing the head pin, but she'll get a fairly good break out of it.
4 horsemen left, 1, 2, 4, and 7. Piece of wood in between the 2 and the 4, which should help her. Got to catch the head pin, though.
Ooh.
Lowest ball breaks from right to left. She starts it quite a bit out to the right and then comes back and... Oops, I'm sorry,
That's
that's
what
a 10.
she was hoping to do on the ball previously, right on the outside. It was there, but she'll have to try and start a new string of marks here in the 4th.
That one broke into the 1-3 pocket, but she hasn't got much to shoot at, or much for a spare leave, I should say. The 5, 7, 8, and 10. Piece of wood in front of the 5 and the 8, which you'll have to play. Almost got to try to cap it. Well, she does, and excellent try.
Lois from Woburn, Mass. She and her husband Richard have 2 children, Richard Jr. and Cindy. Lois works as an office manager for U.S. Coin Incorporated and does most of her bowling out of Leda Lanes in Nashua.
Lois started her approach and the deadwood started rolling again, so she was able to put the brakes on, regroup, and she'll go after the 5-10.
And it'll be an 8-box, so 51 through 4 for the team of Queen and Downey. And now our first look at Judy Whitcher. And Judy crosses over to the Brooklyn side, and she'll be looking at a spare leave on the 6-10.
.610. 2 pins in the right-hand corner.
Watch out.
Oh.
Ooh. That wood can be a distraction, especially when you know you could play it.
It looks awful inviting sometimes.
10 bucks.
So it's a 5-pin advantage for the team of Queen and Downey through 3 completed frames.
Right on the head pin, chopping out the 1, 5, and the 8. Looking to pick up a pin or 2 and count, and she does for 10 bucks.
Great 10. Split the 3 and the 6. Watch the 3-pin jump over into the 7. Off the wall and into the 7. Great shot.
Seen some pretty good shots here already.
So it's a 3-pin advantage now for Downey and Queen.
Carol just gets that one to come back into the pocket with good results, leaving the 7-pin. Just got to wait for this wood to settle down. May be able to use it as a guide, if nothing else. Right there. Who needs the wood? Carol Downey is perfect. 3 boxes, 3 marks.
Throws the ball nice and easy. Gets a lot of mixing action. That time she's up short. Leaves it to the right. 4 fill on the spare.
Carol was last here right around the holidays of late 1989 and early 1990 when she bowled in mixed doubles competition with Kevin Davis, and they came from the number 4 seeded spot and won it all. They won 4 straight matches. 10 for Carol. JoAnn Vandiver. JoAnn Vandiver was teamed with Jack Ray, and they were 2 of the victims of Carol Downey and Kevin Davis a couple of years ago.
Triangle 2-4-5. This wood could hurt her. Nope, not enough. Just enough to carry the 5-pin. Watch the wood just clip the 5-pin.
JoAnn throws a pretty hard ball too, and that might have helped her there.
Chance to take the lead. 7-pin drop will tie it up.
JoAnn really puts a lot of spin on that ball. She really turns it over as she delivers with the left hand.
And a big 9-pin drop, and she's got a 6-pin standing with all kinds of help in front. Oh, she dropped that ball. Actually dropped that ball behind the foul line. So really releasing it prematurely.
So an opportunity lost there, but the team of Vandiver and Whitcher take the lead by 2. And back comes Lois Queen. Been a little bit longer for Lois Queen since her last appearance. There's a spare in the 7th, her first, the 4th for the team.
Heavy on the head pin, the ball stays right in play, drives right straight back through the other 4 pins.
Nice looking fill ball, but not much of a leave. Have to see what the wood does here on the 7 and 8. Lois was last here in May of 1988. She was paired with Bill Goturch in mixed doubles play. No.
Excellent try. 7-8. Tough piece of wood out in front. Tried to turn it.
Lois and Bill won a match and then lost the series championship match to Janet Pock and Pat Pay a few years back. 102 through 8. Now Judy Whitcher.
Judy's in the pocket, leaves a dry, yeah, easy for me to say, triangle. 4-7-8, not a real good piece of wood next to the 4-pin. That's cost of the shot.
Judy Whitcher's last appearance here was also back in May of 1988. She was paired with Gary Duffett in that same series when Lois Queen was here. They lost a match to Marlene Broder and Al Cloutier. And it's a 9-box for Judy. So the lead swings back to the team of Queen and Downey. But an open frame here in the 8th. And right back on the head pin, kicks them all. The 6-pin takes out the 5 from the side, a rather unusual kick there.
Looks for a minute the 5, the 6 are going to be left, which would be a difficult spare. But as Doug said, the 6 takes out the 5, and it's a strike.
Carol Downey now to finish up game 1 for her team. Carol from Andover, Mass. Works as a credit union manager, does a lot of her bowling right here at Park Place Lanes, so home court advantage for Carol, I guess you could say. Carol has 3 children, Noel, Cheryl, and JJ, and a grandson, Jamie. And seems like many years ago now, Carol worked the scoreboard for us here on Stars and Strikes.
That's right.
In fact, she was the first.
Well, you talked about some of these ladies coming back with us, and it was only like 4 years ago. I thought the way you opened up, Fred Flintstone was going to be one of their partners or something. It wasn't that long ago.
$118 for the team of Queen and Downey.
Well, a 6-pin lead. Let's see if we'll stand up. I have a tough time talking this morning. Anything over 7 on the strike, they'll regain the lead, and they're also opposite 2 open frames.
Right back on the head pin. This is a fill on a strike, remember.
A little full on the head pin, so she leaves herself a difficult spare 2, 4, 6. Again, just dropping that ball a little bit, causing it go to the, in her case, being left-hander, to the left. If a right-hander did the same thing, they'd probably be missing to the right, and a great 10.
Well, again, one shot too late, but it's a fine shot nonetheless. So JoAnn moves into the 10th box.
And has regained the lead. So back and forth we go. String number 1, week number 1, women's doubles.
Again, next Sunday at 12 noon here on the Winds. We'll have 2 more hours for you. In men's singles, it'll be week 2 as Joe Ashline will try and make it 2 wins in a row. He'll be faced by Brian McKinley. And then, of course, the winners of this match in ladies doubles will come back to face the team of Debbie Regan and Tony Austin next week at 1 o'clock, right here on the Winds. Candlepin, Stars and Strikes, and a fine spare by JoAnn Vandiver in the 10th. So it's 123 plus this ball, and it's an 8 fill and a 131. So a 13-pin lead after 1 game for the team of Whitcher and Vandiver. We're back with game 2 in a minute. Game 2, our first week of ladies doubles here on Stars and Strikes. Judy Whitcher, along with her partner JoAnn Vandiver, taking a 13-pin advantage after game 1.
The 1, the 3, and the 10. Playing on the outside. Let's see, the 1 and the 10 go out of there. 3-pin stays.
Nine box. Judy Whitcher lives in Chester, New Hampshire. She and her husband Earl have 2 children, Christina and Charles. They also have a granddaughter, Cindy. Judy works as an administrative assistant, does a lot of her bowling at the Londonderry Bowling Center and at Boutwell's.
Great place.
In Concord.
Fantastic place.
How did
to
that
bowl.
turn up there?
Cost me a lot of money.
So 2 opens for the team of Whitcher and Vandiver, and that will leave an opening for Lois Queen.
That one broke sharp at the end on Lois and took away just the 4, 7, and 8. Cluster 7 left for. That time she's back on the head pin, but a little full. Going to try to grab the 6 and a 10 and move over to lane 31 and see if she can start something.
Ten bowlers on this ladies doubles ladder, and 10 different cities and towns represented. Bends that one right into the pocket and leaves the 6-pin for a spare leave.
She's got to either move to the left or keep her speed up to cut down the break a little bit. She's right on it.
Yes.
Actually probably shot almost like the 10-pin was up there and then ball came back.
Sometimes the most important thing is in doubles. The important thing in doubles is to remember when it's your turn.
I know. I know. And a few people were here for the pre-game show. It was quite interesting.
Oh, a big strike for JoAnn Vandiver.
And now we all know that the pre-game show had little or nothing to do with what's going on because they didn't listen to me. Kicking the 10 out. Well, we have fun with the ladies. As most of you know, they decide who starts the match, and they go in rotation every 2 boxes. And they're to keep that rotation for the first and second games. However, after your partner bowls, you don't bowl. The other team bowls.
Right.
The third game, they can switch the order if they want to.
Big spare. Great shot for JoAnn Vandiver. That's worth another look. The 1-3-7. Strike spare.
And this is on a spare for Carol Downey, and it's a 5 fill and an interesting leave. The 2, 5, 8, 9, 10. Got a chance. Oh, that's got to go.
Wow.
No, it doesn't.
9 bucks. So the team of Whitcher and Vandiver, as you see, has extended the lead by 6 more pins. Lead by 19, and they have a spare up already here in the 4th. Well, Carol can be glad that didn't happen on a spare. Chopped out the 3-pin.
I did that in a league the other night, and I tried to turn around and tell them there was a pin missing from the rack, but they didn't buy it.
Carol just trying to make an escape after that first ball, and she'll take an 8. And we will take a break here on Stars and Strikes Doubles. Ladies doubles, week 1. Judy Whitcher and JoAnn Vandiver in the lead, just about at the halfway point. Don't go away. As Judy Whitcher steps up, she will fill a spare left by her partner, JoAnn Vandiver, in the 4th. Judy with that extreme right to left cross lane delivery. She adds 5 on the spare.
And that close to another one.
Another stubborn 9-pin. .64 half. Halfway through the match, the team of Whitcher and Vandiver at 195. That's a pretty good triple they've got working.
Absolutely. Opening string was 131, and as Doug said, at the halfway point, they're 64.
As always, the action on Stars and Strikes being brought to you by Tri-State Megabucks, our presenting sponsor. Just imagine being rich. Tri-State Megabucks. And another 10 bucks.
Only left 1 pin standing, that 9 box in the first frame. All the rest have been 10s or marks. 74 through 6.
And here's an opportunity for Lois Queen to try and cut into the lead. Well, she made this shot before.
You know, we went to the next frame, and a thought that occurred to me: if the women do have an advantage, if you saw the way she made this shot last time, the ball stayed right in play. It just kind of slowly hit the pins, and I think the slower speed had a lot to do with her making that spare. That time she was just in the 1-3 pocket. Almost have to be full on a shot like that. Drive everything straight back.
10. Just missing the head pin, leaving the 4 horsemen to the right.
That was a good shot of the break on her ball. Looked like it was going to go straight into the head pin. Last minute, it broke to the left. 4 horsemen right, 1-3, 6-10. It's going to be the same spot.
And the ball breaking away from the pins that time, so made it a tougher shot. $8 for Lois. So the lead goes to 28 for the team of Whitcher and Vandiver. And JoAnn Vandiver steps up now. JoAnn works for the Public Service Company of New Hampshire, does a lot of her bowling right near home at the Sunset Lanes in Newport,
which her parents own.
Well, still working. Let's see. The 7-pin will stay.
She wants all that wood to kind of clear out of there because none of it looked very good for her. She's going to clear shot now at the 7-pin. Well, as I said that, another piece of wood starts moving.
JoAnn and her husband Michael have 4 children, 13-year-old John, 12-year-old Todd, 3-year-old Wesley, and 2-year-old Sarah. JoAnn looking for the spare and doesn't get it. And it's still there. The runner-up team in this match will receive plaques from the N&R Trophy Company of Winchendon, Mass., and they will share 5th place prize money of $150. Big first ball again. Another 9-drop, this time the 6-pin for JoAnn. And the winning team, of course, will come back next week to face our number 3 seeded team, Debbie Regan and Tony Austin. And JoAnn converts this one for the spare. That's mark number 7 for the team. The team of Lois Queen and Carol Downey have 5 marks, all spares.
And they really got to get a few of these pins back. 28 or 30 pin lead going to 1 to the final game is a pretty tough lead to overcome. 1, 3, 6 plus the 8 pin in the back.
Carol would love to put one up right here, but can't get it to go. Carol Downey, far and away, is the most successful women bowler we've had here on Stars and Strikes. Carol with a record of 12-3 in her appearances here.
That's right in there. And the 5-pin stays. Nice little guide to the, well, let's say that now it's not. Maybe a difficult shot. She can get by the 5, she can see it. She would like to avoid the front piece of wood if at all possible. Look at this.
Oh, right there. Perfect.
Excellent shot.
That was perfect. Carol's accuracy has always been a strong part of her game.
That's her forte.
Yep.
She's not going to overpower the pins. A lot of other women bowlers would throw extremely hard. That's a 9 fill on a spare. Carol's nice and smooth and relies on the accuracy. Judy's looking at the 10-pin. Piece of wood.
With a piece of wood rolling in the middle. Watch out. Just kept it on the lane. Just kept that ball on the lane long enough for the mark. Four fill. Still has a chance for another one though here. If she hits the object.
She's right on it. Testy 9-pin again.
Again.
It's 3 or 4 times between the two teams that the 9-pin was the last one to stand up, preventing the spare.
A 126, so 257 for the team of Whitcher and Vandiver after 2. But now remember, Lois Queen is working on a spare here. And they could use some more. 6 fill. Does she hang in there? Yes!
There goes the 9-pin.
I thought maybe she was going to get robbed again.
It looked like the 9-pin was going to stand up. Right there, just enough to come off the wall. And really need to fill this one and get another one.
Oh.
Right through the middle.
Well, the team of Whitcher and Vandiver will have the advantage going into game 3. it's an 8 box, so a 107. It'll be 225 for the team of Queen and Downey. So a 32-pin lead, as you see, for Whitcher and Vandiver with 1 game to go, and we'll be back on Stars and Strikes in a minute. Carol Downey will try to start the comeback for her team. Ooh, half Worcester right. Playing it inside.
Still looking at the triangle 4-5, 2-4-5.
And a 10. Nice out after the half Worcester. Right back on the head pin. How's that for a recovery after the half Worcester?
That's what they need. Of course, anytime, as I mentioned, week in and week out, anytime, especially at the Park Place lanes, high scoring house, we throw 1 strike, always the possibility of throwing the second.
And that is the first strike for the team of Downey and Queen. JoAnn Vandiver looking to make a cut shot here. No.
Went on the inside, trying to carom the ball off the head pin into the 10 pin. And right 10.
Plays it on the inside again for the 10 box.
Watch the 2 pins come off the wall. 2, and then the 4 pin comes over and takes out the 10.
Now opposite the strike. Left by Carol Downey. Ooh. And that time the conventional way, and look out, that close to a spare.
Everything but the 10. Oh, it's going to be an advantage for Lois Queen to cut into that 32-pin advantage. That's enjoyed by Whitcher and Vandiver to this point anyways.
Nine box. So, whatever Lois Queen can put on this strike does cut into the deficit. She would love to hang a double up there. Pretty close. Pretty
Watch
close.
out, here it goes, that's gone.
Yep. How about that? Well, as you said, Dan Murphy, here at Park Place Lanes, those kind of things happen.
Looked like she was going to be left with a split. The 10 pin didn't seem like it was going to go out. The 10 pin goes, then the 7 pin, and this pin turns and slides back. Unbelievable.
Well, that is going to go a long way toward wiping out that lead, depending on what Whitcher and Vandiver do. Ooh, looking for the mark. Spare on strike. But still not too bad. They'll be in the 60s through 4.
That pin had to turn just right to get the momentum and go straight back into the last pin standing for the double strike. Give you a better count of where we are after these 2 boxes by Judy Whitcher. And she answers the call.
Strike.
Big strike is right.
Wow.
Just when the momentum is seeing the swing towards Queen and Downey, Judy Whitcher gets up and throws a strike.
That's the 3rd strike for the team. Each team with 9 marks now. Watch out.
Pulled that one badly to the left, but after all said and done, it's not too bad. The 1, 3, 6, and the 7, and all kinds of help in between. She should be thinking nothing but head pin. The bad news is that wood nestled next to the 3-pin. If she splits the 1 and the 3, it could cost her the shot. No, she's missing the head pin. It's a 9 fill on the strike.
Well, the lead is going to be about cut in half here through the first 4 boxes. We will pause right here. And there's the situation. The lead is down to 15. It was 32. So we've still got a match cooking here with 6 boxes to go in week 1, and we'll come back in a minute. Carol Downey.
That's a lob. That's a lob.
That's going to come back. That's too bad. Carol put that ball right in the pocket, had a spare leave.
There was no doubt about it. I could have called that one from here. And just held on. She's trying to get a little pumped up right now and really trying to put a little extra on the ball. And a lot of times that happens.
So instead of a 9 drop and a possible spare, it's a 7 box.
That gives them 72 at the halfway point.
Well, this may be interesting. The object pin, the 2.
I think she's on the 2-pin. She's got a real chance at making the other 4. Now she pulled the ball to the left.
I have to have a piece of wood check. Joe Paglia will go down and handle it for us. The 2, 5, and 10 remain. That piece of wood in front of the 10 is legal. Should not come into the shot. And Carol takes the 9. But 2 frames lost. Important news there.
Chance for JoAnn to put a couple marks up and boost that lead back up. Opposite a 7 and a 9. Leading by 15.
Right in the pocket.
Doesn't she take advantage?
Oh. Strike number 4 for the team of Whitcher and Vandiver, and JoAnn really unloaded on that one.
That's her pocket. Because the ball is breaking from left to right, and if she can get in the 1-2, it's just cutting right through the 10 pins. She gets a lot better pin action. Light this time, but still that mixing action. The 9 and the 10 pins left in. Let's see where the wood settles down. You can see it on your screen, but she has a second piece of wood behind the front one. She's going to try to get the pieces of wood moving for the 9 and the 10.
Yes.
And she does. 2 big marks. Pushes the lead back up to 29.
Well, what those 2 marks do is they wipe out the effect of the double strike. Lois Queen now. Well, this has been Lois's favorite leave today.
That's right. The 1, the 3, the 5, the 8, and 9.
I don't know if it's her favorite, but it's been the most frequent. And she takes it out. Second time in 3 tries that she's converted that leave for a spare. They need more.
It's going to clear a ball out of the channel. Yes, they need, well, actually, they would probably have to continually mark the final 3 frames of this game. A full spread eagle. Got rid of the 3, 6, and 10. Now she's looking at the 2, 4, and 7.
And it'll be a 9 box. So Judy Whitcher comes up on a mark. And she and JoAnn Vandiver can go a long way toward closing this out if Judy were to put another mark up there.
Well, it's a half dozen more. The 1, 3, 9, and 10 left. The outside and not quite.
How does the 10 pin stand? $10. So right now, the lead is 31 overall. Spare leave. The 3 and the 5 with wood turning.
Well, she'll still have to play it high. If she plays it right on the 3 pin, it's going to slide right in front of the 5. Now watch. There it is.
You've had that shot up before, apparently.
Yes, yes. A long time ago, Hall of Famer Dominic Mascolo once told me when I was first starting bowling, even if you throw a ball that you know is not going to be on the target, always watch what happens when the ball hits a piece of wood or you play different shots, because somewhere along the line that shot will come back and you'll know how to play it next time.
Carol Downey, the final 2.
3, 5, 6 triangle.
No.
Not to be.
One box to go, and even a triple strike here would probably not be enough. So JoAnn Vandiver will not have to mark when she goes up for her final 2. Oh, I thought she had a chance to make that shot.
Always plug into the final ball.
$10 for Carol Downey, a 123, and a 3-string total 340. Make it 124, and a 3-string total 349. And how about a strike? No. It'll be an 8-pin for JoAnn Vandiver.
That 8-pin is not only off the spot to the left, I think it moved back a few inches too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, if that wood stays there, but it won't. JoAnn will wait for it. The match is already over, but of course, JoAnn still has a chance to get a 400 triple here if she were to put 3 marks back to back. Oh, there's
that's
one.
off the wall.
Had to hit it. There was no way around it. At least very little chance to get around it. Well, strike spare here in the 10th, and it's 400. But it will not be. But it will be a win for the team of Vandiver and Whitcher. They will move on to face the team of Regan and Austin next week. It's a 4-box, but it's not going to be too costly right now. A 119, a 376 for Whitcher and Vandiver, knocking off Queen and Downey with a 349. There are the totals. We'll be back to talk to the bowlers and tell you about next week here on Stars and Strikes in a minute. And welcome back to Stars and Strikes Doubles. Doug Brown here and our runner-up team, Lois Queen and Carol Downey. We have a little checks for you here, and we have plaques for you as well, and just a situation where the other team bowling well, and you guys had to come from behind. That's tough to do in a short match sometimes.
It certainly is. They're a good team.
Yeah, they bowled well, and you guys put on a comeback. You had the double strike there at the end, but just not quite enough.
We tried. Next time we'll do better.
Well, we appreciate you both being here. It's good to see you, and good luck, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
All right, Carol Downey and Lois Queen. And now let's bring up JoAnn Vandiver and Judy Whitcher, who will be back next week to try and make it 2 in a row. Congratulations, JoAnn. Slide right in here so we can get you on camera. Congratulations, Judy. Have the big strike balls working. Both of you seem to really have the strikes going and putting the marks in bunches, which helps.
Oh, it's great when you can get 2 in a row. Yeah. Takes the pressure off.
Little nervous time maybe in the third when they threw the double strike.
Yes. But JoAnn was throwing a good ball. I knew she'd come back.
Well, next week you'll be back and you'll be facing Debbie Regan and Tony Austin. I'm sure you know them both, and we'll be looking forward to that one.
Should be a good match.
All right, thanks very much. Congratulations. This applause is for you, and we're going to go over to the ladder and take a look and see what's happening next week as we bring Dan Murphy back in. The team of Whitcher and Vandiver, they won the one-string roll-off prior to that show, Dan, and then they kept it right on going and bowled the outstanding 376. So now they move up to face our number 3 seeded team, Debbie Regan and Tony Austin, next week.
Should be another great duel next week. They bowl well as a team. They came back each threw their own strikes after surviving the double strike. So that was the big turning point in the match, I think.
All right, and next week a reminder also at 12 noon, of course, we begin our 2 hours of Candlepin bowling here on the Winds with men's singles as Joe Ashline will try and make it 2 wins in a row. He will face Brian McKinley. So be with us next Sunday starting at 12 noon for 2 full hours here on Stars and Strikes. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, Doug Brown, so long from Park Place Lanes.